In the U.S., on August 18, 1920, women gained the right to vote in order to have a say in electing officials.
Shortly after, women still faced discrimination and had to keep fighting for equal rights. This changed history because, eventually, women earned equal rights and to this day don't face voting discrimination and have equal say in government.
What was the 19th Amendment? The 19th Amendment was a decades-long struggle to prohibit women from being denied the right to vote based on gender.
This fight lasted over 100 years, but in the end it was all worth it. Prior to August 18, 1920, women couldn't vote. In fact, they couldn't do a lot of things.
It was difficult for them to own property, serve a jury, enter into legal contracts independently, get equal pay, and many schools didn't accept women.
Many people, not only females, wanted to end discrimination in the legal system. After the 15th Amendment, which gave black men the right to vote but excluded women, many suffragists were mad.
Abolitionists such as Frederick Douglass said that getting black men the right to vote was more important than for women. This added tension between abolitionists and suffragists and caused the two movements to no longer be allies.
Because of this, lead suffragists such as Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton started arguing that white women were more educated than black women and that they were more deserving of the right to vote.
Things like this split the movement into two enemy organizations, the National Women's Suffrage Association and the American Women's Suffrage Association. The division lasted 21 years and ended in February of 1890.
We have spoken of suffragists like Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, but who are these people? Who was Susan B. Anthony? Susan B. Anthony was one of the many people who fought for women's rights. She was born on February 15, 1820, in Adams, Massachusetts. Born into the Quaker tradition, she believed in having spiritual equality and in peace and honesty. She learned how to read and write at 3, and her father was a teacher. When she grew up, she became very involved in abolition, met Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and helped slaves escape to freedom. Now, let's talk a little bit about one of her fellow suffragists, Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton was born on November 15, 1815 in Johnstown, New York. Growing up, her family was very wealthy. Despite her brother dying at a young age, Elizabeth excelled in school. She received the best education available to women at the time.
She went on to become one of the most influential suffragists in history, with major achievements such as co-founding the Women's State Temperance Society of New York, writing and publishing several books, organizing the first Women's Rights Convention in 1848, and providing a draft of the Declaration of Sentiments. She died on October 26, 1902, due to heart failure.
After the National Women's Suffrage Association and the American Women's Suffrage Association joined together, they began to take a state-by-state approach, first conquering Wyoming in 1869, then Colorado in 1893, and Utah and Idaho in 1896.
And so on until 15 states allowed women to vote in all elections by 1918. But 15 isn't enough. Women were fed up with the mistreatment. For instance, in 1912, when 33 suffragists were imprisoned for property damage while protesting near the White House, they, as a way to protest being confined, went on a hunger strike. Because of this, the prison they were in stuck tubes down their noses and throats and pumped in foods like milk or egg yolks.
They said it was to keep them alive, but the suffragists had only been on a hunger strike for a short amount of time, and many believe it was just them attempting to torture the suffragists.
This event society now calls the Night of Terror. Furthermore, suffragists capitalized on these small statewide victories as leverage for an official legal amendment.
Around the time 1913 through 1918, things were looking good for women, and they could tell they were just a few steps away from getting what they had been fighting for over 100 years.
After all, the first woman was elected in Congress in 1916, Jeannette Rankin, and in 1918, President Woodrow Wilson officially said he supported the cause.
After 42 years, on June 4th, 1919, the amendment passed both the Senate and the House. Finally, on August 18, 1920, the 19th Amendment was officially ratified, and women in every state in the U.S. were allowed to vote in all elections.
But still, not all females could vote. Indigenous women, black women, and many other colored women were prevented from voting, with things like literacy tests, which were unfair assessments given to voters to determine whether they were eligible to vote.
But these tests often had much harder questions for people of color while having easy ones for white individuals. Another way people prevented them from voting was poll taxes.
Poll taxes were fees that you had to pay to be able to vote. Many people of color had very small incomes, therefore could not participate in the vote.
This law applied to all citizens, white and black, and was used as a way to prevent non-wealthy people from voting. This mainly happened in the South.
People of color also didn't vote because they were afraid. Many black people who tried or did vote were killed or beaten. Some lost jobs or got their houses burned down.
Luckily, we had protesters like Martin Luther King and John Lewis pushing for another amendment to support the 15th and 19th Amendment, making poll taxes and literacy tests illegal.
They succeeded, causing the Voting Rights Act of 1965, signed by Lyndon B. Johnson on August 6th.
In society today, the Constitution gives everyone equal rights, no matter their race or gender.
And that was the 19th Amendment.